Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Girivara Dhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. श्री नाम संकीर्तन की, मंत्राज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की, श्री प्रभुपाद की, गौर भक्त वृंद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you for this morning Bhagavatam class. No? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 18, entitled as Maharaja Pariksit cursed by the Brahmin boy, and text 10. Yaya Katha Bhagavata Katha Anyor Karmanaha Guna Karma Shri Pumbhi Samse Vyasta Bhubushubhi. Yaya Katha Bhagavata Katha Anyor Karmanaha Guna Karma Ashraya Pumbhi Shamse Vyasta Bhubushubhi. Yaya Katha Bhagavata Katha Anyor Karmanaha Guna Karma Ashraya Pumbhi Samse Vyasta Bhubushubhi. Samse Vyasta Bhubushubhi. Yaya Katha Bhagavata Katha Anyor Karmanaha Guna Karma Ashraya Pumbhi samse vyasa bubhushubhi. Word to word translation. Yah, whatever. Yah, and whatsoever. Kataha, topics. Bhagavataha, about the personality of Godhead. Katanya, were to be spoken by me. Uru karmanaha, of him who acts wonderfully. Guna, transcendental qualities. Karma, uncommon deeds. Ashraya, involving. Kumbhi, by persons. Samsevayaha, ought to be heard. Taha, all of them. Bubhushubhihi, by those who want their own welfare. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is the Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat the translation. Those who are desirous of achieving complete perfection in life must submissively hear all topics that are connected with the transcendental activities and qualities of the personality of Godhead, who acts wonderfully. Purport. The systematic hearing of the transcendental activities, qualities and names of Lord Shri Krishna pushes one towards eternal life. Systematic hearing means knowing Him gradually in truth and fact. And this knowing Him in truth and fact means attaining eternal life, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Such transcendental glorified activities of the Lord Shri Krishna are prescribed remedy for counteracting the process of birth, death, old age and disease, which are considered to be material awards for the conditioned living being. The culmination of such perfectional stage of life is the goal of human life and the attainment of transcendental bliss. Umagyanatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshushanmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kankshana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is a very nice verse. Actually, all the verses of Bhagavatam are very nice. In this chapter, Maharaja Pariksit is cursed by the Brahmin boy. What is the name of the boy? Whose son was he? Huh? Samika Rishi. Shamika Rishi. And Pariksit Maharaj, later it will come in this chapter, he feels very thirsty, isn't it? And he goes to the Shamika Rishi's hermitage. And then Shamika Rishi is in dhyan, he is in meditation. And Maharaj Pariksit, a pure devotee of the Lord, he falls prey to the material conditionings, thirst. And then he feels offended also. Generally, devotees don't feel offended. But in this chapter you will see that Pariksit Maharaj, he feels offended, isn't it? He feels offended. So much so that unheard of a normal devotee also. But to speak about rajarsi, pure devotee of Pariksit Maharaj, he picks up a snake and puts on the neck of Shringi. This is also, even a normal devotee understands the basic philosophy, can you dream of taking a snake and putting on anyone's head. Forget about Shamika Rishi, going into his hermitage and feeling so much offended that he puts the snake on his neck. And then he walks off. After a while, when he walks off, he realizes. What does he realize? Maybe the Rishi did not notice I am there because he felt that Rishi is ignoring me. And Prabhupada writes there. Anyone knows what Prabhupada writes there? Okay, yes. In this purpose, one important thing Prabhupada writes. He said it was the will of the Lord. It was actually the will of the Lord for this to happen. Even Samika Rishi feels very, disappointed. You will see this in the verses. And then he goes and tells the king, Pariksit Maharaj, that my son, due to his immaturity, has cursed you. And Prabhupada writes in the same chapter one more very nice thing. He mentions that when Pariksit Maharaj came to know that Shringi has cursed him, he doesn't try to counter it. And Prabhupada writes there one more very nice thing. He writes, I was just going through the chapter. He said, the pure devotee of the Lord, Pariksit Maharaj, had all the qualification to counter the curse of Shringi. But he does not do that. He accepts that as a will of the Lord. And that's how the Bhagavatam manifests. That's how the Bhagavatam manifests. And last year we had the great fortune to be there. Shukratal. Last year we had the opportunity to be in the place where this whole, Bhagavatam was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami to Pariksit Maharaj. There is only one living being still there who heard the Bhagavatam class. Still there. Everyone knows who's there? You were there? Okay. What is that? Oh, Narottam Prabhu brought a twig from the tree. The tree which is there from more than 5,000 years old, who heard the Bhagavatam, is always a personal associate of Narottam Prabhu now. That's nice. So, in this verse, Jai Shri Radha Madhava ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maya ki, Shri Shri Gaunitai ki. So, in this verse, is discussing about basically the mood of the devotee, the qualities of the devotee, what attachments he should have, how will those attachments help him. These are some verses emphasizing on those qualities of a sadhu, of a Vaishnava. And in this verse says, those who are desirous of achieving complete perfection in life, submissively hear all the topics that are connected with the transcendental activities and the qualities of the personality Godhead. And Prabhupada writes in this verse, he adds, submissively hearing all the topics that are connected with the transcendental activities and qualities of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada adds, systematically hearing means knowing Him gradually, in truth and fact. Very beautiful translation. If you read the verse, the Sanskrit of it, and then you read the translation and the purport, it is very beautiful. Because in the verse, you can understand by word to word. It is about hearing. It is about only hearing about the Lord. And Prabhupada adds there for the benefit of all the human beings. Prabhupada adds there, submissively hearing all topics. Submissively hearing all topics. So I thought, okay, submissively. So I just wanted to technically understand the meaning of submissively. Prabhupada's contemplation, his meditation on translation is so deep. Every verse, every translation, every purport, you can just, if you choose one of the sentence in one of the verse in a purport, you can perfect your life. Such treasurous is Prabhupada's purpose actually, Srila Prabhupada's purpose. Submissively, the actual translation is, in a way to show you are willing to accept somebody else's authority and willing to obey them without questioning anything when they want you to do what they want you to do. Submissively. Submissively means in a way that shows you are willing to accept somebody else's authority and willing to obey them without questioning anything they want you to do. Now, if you tell this to someone, just a new person, he'll say, these guys are up to brainwash you. Isn't it true? These guys are totally up to brainwash. Now, but if you see the translation, before submissively word, submissive hearing, Prabhupada writes, those who are desirous to achieve complete perfection. So that is a criteria. Prabhupada's translation makes a criteria. If your desire is to achieve complete perfection, then you have to submissively hear all the topics. And submissively translation is this. And then Prabhupada writes in the purport, systematically hearing, he brings up. So it's very beautiful. When I was reading, I was trying to see I try to read the purport especially to perceive something for myself. Whenever I read a purport. So I was reading, I was just hearing. I was just contemplating and this thought came to my mind that, how beautifully Srila Prabhupada writes the purport, the translation word to word, makes the translation is so much applicable, relatable and understandable for us. And in the purport he gives the whole detail of it. And in this verse, Systematically hearing means knowing gradually the truth, gradually in truth the fact, and this knowing Him in truth and the fact means attaining eternal life, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Such transcendental glorified activities of the Lord Shri Krishna are prescribed remedy for counteracting the process of birth, death, old age and disease, which are considered to be material award for the conditioned living being. It's a very beautiful writing. If you read it 2-3 times, you'll understand. If you hear about the Lord, that is a remedy. That is a remedy also, and you attain eternal life also. It is a remedy also, it is, and you attain eternal life. What is eternal life? When we become devotees, that is the biggest pompo we have to preach. Isn't it? When we become new devotees, and if we have to convince some of our family and friends, the narratives what we have to preach is after proving that we are not this body, we are soul. The second powerful thing to preach is this only, that हम लोग को वापस जन्म नहीं लेना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि ये बॉडी में बर्थ भी पेनफुल होता है, डेथ भी पेनफुल होता है. कोई बुढ़ा होना चाहता है क्या? नहीं होना चाहता है. But everyone is forced to get old. Isn't it true? Everyone is forced to get old. And nobody can avoid death. Nobody can avoid death. So this is how we preach. This is how we preach. But after knowing this, Prabhupada emphasizes systematic hearing. It is very important to systematically understand the philosophy, read the scriptures, go from the first canto to 12th canto, 18th canto, 12th canto, and also Bhagavad Gita, all the scriptures. It is very important. Prabhupada emphasized systematic hearing, systematic studying. Hearing means one way studying the scriptures. Yesterday I was in Abbots, so Burijan Prabhu spoke very nice point on this. He said Prabhupada was acting. He was telling, you all are book distributors. So he was irritated. Someone heard yesterday, you heard this? He was irritated about his devotees being lax in reading his books. So Burijan Prabhu was there in the room. So Prabhupada himself was acting as a book distributor and a devotee both. As a book distributor and a devotee both. So Burijan Prabhu was mentioning, he was there in the room. He said, our devotees will go and say, sir, this is a very nice book and this will change your life. Please take it. And the person will say, okay, what is there in this book? Oh, actually, that I don't know. That is what is going on, he said, Prabhupada. That is what is going on. That I don't know, he said. That is not for me, that is for you actually. Prabhupada said, we are not exporters. We are not selling commodity. You are not buying something and selling at a better price, trading it. We are not traders, he said. We are not traders. And then Bhujan Prabhu was mentioning that, Prabhupada mentioned that, when you go deep into the ocean, when you are on the shore of the ocean, there's lot of noise. Have you heard? You go to the beach, there's lot of noise. Continuously if you go to Puri. But if you go deep into the ocean, there is silence. There is silence. Not exactly silence, there is one noise. Like this. Because once I went to Puri, so they take you on tire, that tire. And if you give them some money, they will take you beyond the waves. And they'll leave you there and you can enjoy for some time and they'll bring you back. So once I did that. So I went there and after you go inside, actually it's a little scary because the waves, Here, though they are coming out, they'll throw you out. There, they shake like this. Waves. And then some very silent sound comes. Like that. So I got scared with those voices. I said, Meko leke chal wapas. Anyways, coming to this point, Vijayanpur said, when you go deep into the ocean, there is silence. You know why? Because the ocean is deep. He said. The ocean is deep. And when there is depth, you are very calm, balanced. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj also, when I heard once from his class, he was mentioning, if you go early in the morning to the ocean, whatever the garbage is there in the ocean is thrown out by the ocean. Have you seen that? I am born and brought up in the shore. Narottam Prabhu also. If you go to the beaches, it will throw all the garbage out on the shore. But if you go deep into the ocean and go deep inside, what is there, you know? Pearls. If you want pearls, then you have to go deep into the Bhagavatam. Systematically study. Systematically hear the pastimes of the Lord. Connect them, relish them. Then you will become a deep devotee. Otherwise, little problem, you will shout like the ocean, shout on the shore. This happened with me, that happened with me. You know the philosophy very well and you can preach also amazing. The only problem you have is, when you have difficulty, you cannot apply it for yourself. You understand? You know the philosophy very well. You can preach it very well also. The only problem what you have is, when it comes to, you are in difficulty, you only can apply it, you cannot apply it to yourself. That is what happened when you don't deeply study the books. If you don't deeply understand the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, hear them. That is, very important for a sadhaka. Very, very important. For a devotee to stay in the movement, reading and understanding systematically scriptures is very important. Otherwise, very, very difficult. And how? Actually, I myself, realized this. Because when I joined, I did Bhakti Shastri under Atul Krishna Prabhu. So I didn't understand the systematic study, the value of it. Because the personality of Atul Krishna Prabhu was so amazing that you don't understand the technical details, but a lot of strong impression he leaves in your heart when he speaks. He's a solid Sankirtan man. You heard him? You have heard him, right? So then, after that I went to Radheshyam Prabhu and took some training in the ashram. So when I took that training in the ashram under Radheshyam Prabhu, he was another, 2003, 4 was a, 2, 3, 4 and 5 was a different era of Pune temple. Radheshyam Prabhu was that revolution, he's always like that, but at that time, Radheshyam Prabhu used to have a meeting and keeping the whole map of India and all the top colleges of India, and he would select, this train goes from here. So from here to here, 1, 2, 3 stations, and this station at this college, this station at this college. He used to plan, capturing whole India, like that, and we were feeling that, my God, we are on a mission, take over the world, like that, take over the world, like that. And then I also started, because Radheshyam Prabhu was mapping whole India, and when I came to Juhu, I also took this thing, map. And I saw Juhu se 3 ghanta dur kaun se college achhe. Then Surat came to my mind, Kopargaon came to my mind, and I went and preached in those colleges, out of the fear that Radheshyam Prabhu will come there before if I don't go there. Of course, I spoke to Radheshyam Prabhu also about this. I said, Prabhuji, I want to start in here. I said, I will tell everyone that you are preaching there, nobody will go there, he said. So anyways, after I preached, devotees joined, and I was also preaching. Then I myself realized that it's totally dry. After a few years of preaching, devotees, actually, they need to systematically study. Then I again called Atul Krishna Prabhu only. Prabhuji, you trained me, and I went and preached, and I got these devotees. No, you only train them again systematically. So that's when in 2016, we started. 2016, 17. His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu was kind enough, and I saw such a great impact in the life of devotees, whoever actually took training and systematically studied the scriptures under him. But then, how is it possible to study systematic? One important qualification, 2-3 important qualifications are there. Out of that, one very important is having association of devotees. Nowadays, a lot of devotees are doing online courses. Systematically online courses, But the impact one will have by personal association of a sadhu, a Vaishnava, and hearing from him is unimaginable than just systematically hearing online. Then systematically hearing it online. So, the very important part of systematic studying is also to be in association. Being association and reading Prabhupada books. Taking one book and reading. I remember, again, it's an incident. It's a incident which happened. Not an incident. What do you call it? It's a pastime. Yeah, it could be a Sankirtan pastime. It's a pastime when we were on the. It was 2016 December. 2016 December we were at Govindji temple. We met Keshav Bharati Maharaj. You remember Chaitanya Prabhu? Keshav Bharati Maharaj. So that was also a very big eye opener for us. So he told, because many of you all are Sankirtan devotees, so we spoke to him about the bus, we are traveling and this and that. So he started telling us the story of those days, how devotees were hearing Bhagavatam or reading Bhagavatam was the thirst of devotees to distribute the books actually, he said. So Keshav Bharati Maharaj told us, he was actually the coordinator of traveling, Radha Damodar bus party. So he said that he would be a central person whom all the vans would contact. All the vans would go around the US and he would be the central person to contact. And he said that sometimes devotees would feel very discouraged. And a couple of days they are not able to sell some books. Because of this depression, they would not able to do their sadhana also. And they would feel very down. So what they would do? They would call him that we are feeling like this. And what he used to do? He used to read them one chapter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam or a few verses of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam with the purpose. Loudly. He said, I would read the purpose. When we hear about the transcendental qualities and the activities of the personality of Godhead, we may always remember what he said. I would speak to them on the phone as if I am giving a class. I would give a class. And then he gave us one very nice advice. He said, all Sankirtan devotees, brahmacharis especially, they should all take one book and one same book. You remember Chaitanya Prabhu? No? He told you all should take one same book. He said we would do like that. We would take a Krishna book and all of us would have, like 10, 12 of us would have Krishna book in the hand and we would start reading. If we would read one paragraph, I would read one paragraph and then another book distributor would read another paragraph. Like this loudly, we would together read Krishna book while distributing books. I think we did that in the bus party, no? We did that in the bus party. So that is what a very nice recalling I had, while I was reading this, connecting to this verse and the purport. For us, hearing and reading, and hearing also, as I mentioned, that we may hear Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ready, the Gita class ready, but after 4-5 years of joining the Krishna consciousness movement, I always recommend devotees to pursue Bhakti Shastri, so that they hear systematically the scriptures and read Krishna book. We don't have a course on Krishna book, but devotees reading together Krishna book chapter by chapter, completing it. It is very important practice. Very, very important practice. I remember in my new Bhakta time in Pune, we would have Krishna Rasayan. Radheshyampu's training was such that from morning 4 to night 9 o'clock the schedule was packed. made, hour to hour made, hour to hour. So we would have a glass of milk with Krishna Rasayan. Krishna Rasayan means everyone reading Krishna book together. So this is very, very important for us. But at the same time, we should know the Sankirtan mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it majorly depends upon devotees being very strong, and the strength comes by this, a very strong sadhana, reading scriptures. Then we will understand. As I said, all this is possible only when we are in association of devotees. In association of devotees, Sankirtan devotees. Now, what does Sankirtan devotees mean? They are devotees of whom? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is a very important factor for all of us. Again and again, again and again. Radha Govind Maharaj once was mentioning that if you ask a Gaudiya Vaishnava, who is your Ishta? If you ask a Gaudiya Vaishnava, who is your Ishta? He said he has to say Gaur Nitai. He said, Gaur Nitai, Panchatattva. Panchatattva. Why? Because their mercy is very, very magnanimous. I was hearing one lecture of Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj. He made one very nice sentence, and I went back and heard it 3 times. Maharaj was mentioning, glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his Sankirtan mission, and how this mission has made association available for the world, and it is giving something which was not available always. So Maharaj was telling, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving unprecedented charity. What is he giving? Unprecedented charity. And he further says, he has not come to give what is available or given before. He has come to give which is very, very rarely available and not given before. Not given before. What is that? Krishna Prem. So Maharaj was mentioning, we all are very attracted to Radha and Krishna. And we know this verse. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo tatvata. So Lord's pastimes, his actions and his birth are very transcendental. By knowing them it by tattva, one can go back home, back to Godhead. But Maharaj adds very nice. He says that Krishna can perform wonderful pastime, but he himself cannot give love. He said that is why Krishna is Leela Purushottam. He will perform such transcendental pastimes, and it will attract your heart. It will attract your heart. But until and unless you are introduced to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees, you will not get prema. That is why he says Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prema Purushottam and Lord Krishna is Leela Purushottam. Lord Krishna is Leela Purushottam and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prema Purushottam. Now one more thing I came to know while I was hearing this class. He said Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Grahastha Leelas, if you read his Grahastha Leelas, Mahaprabhu was distributing love. He was chanting the holy name and dancing, but it was majorly to Grahasthas or devotee or people who were already devotees. You understand this point? Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was Nimai, and then he became Nimai Pandit, and after that when he met his spiritual master and came back to Navadip, he was preaching, he was chanting, but all in Navadip only. He was having his eternal pastime in the house of Srivas Acharya, Srivas Pandit. But indiscriminately distributing, he had not begun by then. That he does after his sannyas lila. After his sannyas lila. Because when Lord Krishna, in mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is very, very eager to give Krishna to the whole world. He is very, very eager to give Krishna Prem to the whole world. And Mahaprabhu thinks like this. Mahaprabhu thinks also that, Arey, I have to go and give it to the whole world. And then he goes out and he thinks about it that no, my mission is getting stuck by being here. And people also start offending him. And then Mahaprabhu takes this opportunity and thinks that it is a strategy to take sannyas, and also a strategy to forgive people who are offending me, and also a strategy to have a position where people respect me, I can give them prema. Because when one is a sannyasi, one actually respects him. So Mahaprabhu was very concerned by doing so, people will actually respect him. By respecting him, they will be free from the offenses, and by that he will be able to give them Krishna Prem. So, this Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very beautifully narrated. While I was hearing this class, Guru Govind Maharaj beautifully narrates it. It is in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 7, verse number 31. We'll sing this verse, okay? Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 7th chapter, verse number 31. Is there? ताहा देखी महाप्रभु कोरे न चिंतना, ताहा देखी महाप्रभु कोरे न चिंतना, जगत डूबाईते आमी करिलो यतना, जगत डूबाईते आमी करिलो यतना, केहा इदाइला प्रतिज्ञा होइल भंग, केहा इदाइला प्रतिज्ञा होइल भंग, तह सब डूबाईते पादिबो किचुरंग, तब सब डूबाईते पादिबो किचुरंग, हित बोली मने किच्छु कोरिया विचार, कोरिया विचार, संन्यास आश्रम प्रभु कैल अंगीकार, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, So, see, one of my first classes in Mayapur, when I had gone to Mayapur, of course, translation, seeing that the Mayavadis and others are fleeing, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought, I wanted everyone to be immersed in this inundation of the love of Godhead, but some of them have escaped. Therefore, I shall devise a trick to drown them also. Thus the Lord accepted sannyas order of life after full consideration. One of my first classes after I went to Mayapur in 2003, Jayapataka Maharaj was giving class. He said, in the early days, if someone wanted to understand Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, he has to go to the Guru. And those days there was not a copy. There was no copies printed. One Guru would have his own personal copy, which he himself has written when his Guru spoke. And if you are serious to become Krishna conscious, first you have to renounce the world and go into the Guru. And then the Guru will see you are serious, he will narrate the scriptures, then you can write and you will have your own copy of Bhagavad Gita. That's how it was available for one and all. So Maharaj was mentioning, to understand Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and Bhagavad Gita, the qualification was to be renounced first. Either you have to be a Babaji or a sannyasi. So if you do that, then you can understand. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to give to one and all, he himself took sannyas. And if you see the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada gave the missionary Sankirtan missionary spirit without any consideration of ashram. And Prabhupada said, one should be a sannyasi in the heart. He introduced sannyas ashram of the heart. It doesn't matter. You're a grahastha, you're a brahmachari, you're a sannyasi. It doesn't matter. The only qualification what you have is that you should be a devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and you should be ready to go out to save the world. If you do that sacrifice, and then you are very dear to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is what Srila Prabhupada gave us. He gave us these books, he gave us this mission, and in this mission there are three major activities: book distribution, Harinam distribution, Prasadam distribution. And of course preaching means well-wisher, cultivation. For everything you have to go out only after Prasad, right? For everything you have to go out only. And this going out, sannyasi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and went out. And Prabhupada created an ISKCON where everyone has to go out. So we are so fortunate from that point of view to being connected to Srila Prabhupada. We have to only have one sacrifice. What is that? Be in association of one qualification to stay in association of devotees, if we can stay. Because to stay with devotees needs tolerance. Only one who doesn't value the association of devotees takes a decision to leave association of devotees. Oh, yesterday you were asking, right? One who doesn't value the association of devotees, he actually gets confused, disturbed, because he keeps himself above the devotees. I am feeling offended, I am disturbed, this thing happened to me, he did this to me, and it is always happening with me, he is purposely doing it, he doesn't like me. It is all a big capital I. And that guy, I goes above the devotees. And then when it goes above the devotees, you have to go outside the association of devotees. Then sometimes devotees come running. Like, when there is a fire, you go to water, right? Have you seen someone running towards fire? No. When there is a fire, you go towards the water. So one who realizes that, he comes back. But one's ego is very strong. He preaches himself. Yes, devotees are okay and everything is okay. But I will not go because 1, 2, 3 are still there. And this sometimes I have seen, a lifetime goes away with that. Lifetime. One is whole life, because what happens once you give up devotee association or devotees, the most immediate attack of Maya is prajalpa, offenses, prajalpa and offenses. The reason to stay away of devotees you need a higher cause to stay away from devotees. You need a higher cause. And that cause Maya Devi gives in the form of prajalpa and offenses. Offenses means finding fault in devotees. Prajalpa means talking about the worldly things. There is something better outside in the world also. But if you stay with devotees, then you get jewel, pearls, diamonds. You get to associate with pearls. Like right now, if you see Hyderabad, the city of Hyderabad, we have at this moment, we have 3 Brajvasis residing in Hyderabad. Indrajamna Maharaj, who is also a resident of Vrindavan, Burijan Prabhu, who is a resident of Vrindavan, and our Baba, who is the father of everyone's residence in Vrindavan. And they are here. And we get to meet them, we get to talk to them. Yesterday, I heard a very beautiful story from Anandamai Prabhu, where he never heard Anandamai Prabhu speaking. You were there, no? I never heard Anandamai Prabhu speaking so strongly. He is a very soft speaker and very, you have to really, have you heard his class? You have to really put energy to hear him. But yesterday I saw him very clear and emotional, started crying. So he told me that today, he was telling the class yesterday, that he was a seeker. So he was driving by car with one of his friends to India, and he halted at Paris. In the streets of Paris, to his surprise, he has never seen something like that in his whole life, that in a street of Paris there was some music which he heard, and the music was very attractive, but the people were unusual who were doing that music. Who were they? Sankirtan devotees. The music, that their attire was unusual to him, but the music was very attractive. And he was other side of the road and driving towards that, getting attracted towards that music. And he started going. And he saw that the kirtan was going on, and he was on the other side of the road, stunned, watching the kirtan. And devotees, some of them distributing book. So one devotee, one very tall devotee, noticed him. And he saw him, and from the other side of the road, he started waving a hand. And then Anandamai Prabhu's attention went there. As soon as Anandamai Prabhu's attention went there, the devotee got confirmation. Party apni hai. He crossed the road, immediately came and gave him a BTG magazine. He read that magazine. And later he came to India, he met devotees. And he went to Kolkata. There he met Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj asked him, what do you want to do? He said, I want to become fearless. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj preached him 3 hours, how to be a fearless. After a few months staying there, he said, Prabhupada is coming, you go and take initiation. After he took initiation, he was sent to Hyderabad. And they told him that Hyderabad needs fund, he should do life membership. He said, I don't know what is membership. They just gave me a bag with forms. And I started going out and started making members. So he was telling there, he was crying. He said that tall devotee who was on the other side of the road was Indrajamna Swami. He said, for Indrajamna Swami. So then I was also very happy because I was on the dais to speak on a marathon felicitation. So I spoke. So today we have Indrajamna Maharaj for the first time coming to this temple. Maharaj said, no, I was there for the opening with Srila Prabhupada. And then, no, of course, Maharaj told before only that he was there for the opening. And then I said that we owe to Indrajamna Maharaj, Hyderabad Yatra, for gifting one Srila Prabhupada's disciple to Hyderabad city who stayed in one temple for 50 years. Anandamai Prabhu stayed only in Abbot's temple and served the Abbot temple for 50 plus years in one temple, one Prabhupada disciple. We cannot understand these things now. Only after another 5 or 10 years we'll understand. Hearing about Srila Prabhupada directly from Srila Prabhupada disciples. Because even Prabhupada disciples were very fortunate to hear their God brothers, because not everyone was with Srila Prabhupada always. So we are a generation who are getting complete Srila Prabhupada from all his disciples. And after this it will be vaya. You will explain what you heard from Prabhupada disciple about Prabhupada. Of course, hearing about Mahabhagavatam is always pure, but the fortune which we all have is very, very special. So that is why it's time for us, for Indians also, now to go out and preach. Last year when we had the GBC meeting, I made a presentation in that I told that when Srila Prabhupada was physically there, Prabhupada established 108 temples. And out of that, 5 were in India, approximately. And 5 or 6, I think, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Mayapur, Kolkata, Juhu, Mumbai. Juhu and Vrindavan. 5, 6, 6 temple, I guess. 102 were outside India. Today, if you see, more than 300 temples are in India. And more than 80% devotees are in India. And in those days, in the 70s, there was no Indian devotees only. In all these 6 temples, there were only Western devotees. And now if you go to the West, the temples are empty. And in India, temples are full. You know? So I was making a presentation now, just like Srila Prabhupada used all of you dancing white elephants to establish preaching in India. We in India are in a very comfort zone. In India, Radheshyam used to mention, you go out and you make some sense to the youth. Scientifically. He will accept. Because India is a pious land. And you go to a congregation, married man. You speak 2-3 verses of Bhagavad Gita, tell 3 stories. One from Ramayana, one from Mahabharata, one personal realization. Immediately when you you shift from the asana, people will pay obeisances. In India, it's such easy preaching, is it? You just get down from the asana, they will pay obeisances to you. That is how easy preaching in India is. Isn't it true? That is how preaching is so easy in India, is it? Say, but we have a duty now. We will be tested if we go outside and preach. Specifically, the Grahasthas, they should go outside of India and preach also. And that way we can help the whole world. So that's what I always talk to our leaders. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki. Any questions? Thank you very much.